and throughout third year. So without the knowledge of the pretérito, you will not move on to third year. Truthfully, without pretérito and fully getting it, you will not have a high success rate in second year either. Now that's a lot of pressure. Okay, bien? But here's the thing. The pretérito is fácil. It is easy. It is one of the easiest grammar lessons you are going to have in second year. Okay, bien? The problem with most students is they hear, this is really important, you've got to understand this, and automatically in their heads they think, well, it must be really super difficult. I'm not going to get this. It's easy. It just happens to be really important. Okay, bien? As a matter of fact, learning the pretérito, in my opinion, is going to be twice as easy as learning the presente. Because now, this whole conjugation thing, you get it. When you were learning the presente, not only were you learning these endings, but you had to understand the process of conjugation. That was brand new to you. You had to listen for terms like infinitive and stem and conjugate, and you had to deal with matching up the L and knowing that that was the third person singular ending. Now, when I say let's conjugate, is there anybody in this room that doesn't know what I'm talking about? Better not be, right? You all know what it means. When I say let's start with the stem, you've heard that for an entire year now. That's not new. All I'm asking of you guys when you learn el pretérito is to learn a new set of endings. Now, with that being said, I still have third-year students who can't conjugate into the pretérito. And they tell me, quite honestly, Senor, I just can't memorize those endings. I just can't memorize them. So, question to you before you even attempt to say that to me, how many of you could tell me the lyrics of your favorite song? You can't tell me lyrics of any song? You probably could, Diego. Come on, be honest here. Okay, bien? How many of you can listen to the radio for an entire hour and sing along to almost every song that you hear? How many of you could stand up right now and recite the Pledge of Allegiance? How many of you are in choir and you memorize your songs on a daily basis? Or in band and you can memorize the notes that you play? Or in sports and you can remember the plays that are called and what you're supposed to do? Or in baseball and you can remember the signs that your coach gives you and you know what to do when you see that sign? Now, who in this classroom is going to have the audacity to tell me that you can't remember 5 new endings? You can't, or you won't. There's a big difference there. To tell me, Senor, I just can't memorize these endings. 5 things I'm asking you to memorize. 5. Why do you know your favorite songs? How can you recite the Pledge of Allegiance? Why do you memorize your plays out on the field? Number 1, because you care. Number 2, you want to get better. Number 3, you repeat them over and over and over again. And yet somehow, when it comes to Spanish, you think magic is going to happen. Senor is going to throw out this information, it's going to fly into your head, and you've got it. Well, that's not working out real well for some of us, because we're not studying it, you're not repeating it, you're not making flashcards for all of these things. Or you are making flashcards, and they sit in that binder pouch until I force you to take them out. You're only going to get better if you get better. ¿Comprenden? Your endings. Let me start by saying you want to begin with your stem. We're back to the stem. Only the condicional lets you start with the whole verb. So we are back to starting with your stem, just like el presente. Your new endings for el pretérito will follow the same chart. Nothing about conjugation changes except your endings. Your new endings are A, hace, O, amos, and aron. Not bad to remember. Certainly not tricky or impossible. I'm going to go ahead and erase the ER/IR for right now because that's not where our focus is. Our focus today is only on the AR verbs. Now when you are conjugating into the pretérito, these acentos take on an extreme level of importance. Who can tell me why we must remember to put the accento over the A in the yo form? Anem.
For the O, it would be so it doesn't look like the present tense yo form.
Okay.
And then E would be present tense ER or L.
Yep, exactly. If you leave your accent off, you are no longer in the yo form preterite. You have hopped back to the third person singular present. Big difference there. Same thing here. Without the accento, you are in the present tense yo form. There's a big difference between third person preterite and first person presente. Acentos son absolutamente necesarios. Bueno, let's use hablar as our sample verb. We're all familiar with hablar. Hablar meaning to talk. Present tense, I talk. Clase, hablo. Past tense, I talked. Hablé. You talk right now. Hablas. You talked yesterday. Hablaste. He or she talks right now. Habla. He or she talked last week. Habló. Now notice my pronunciation. Even your pronunciation has to tell the accento. I've got to be able to hear the difference between habló and habló. Habló, habló. Okay, I carry this one out a little bit. Habló. This one, I shorten it. Habló. Okay, your voice has to tell the story. We talk right now. Hablamos. We talked last hour. Okay. So, we have hablamos in the presente and in the pretérito. Spelling, accentuation, differentiation, we can't rely on any of that. They are exactly the same. So what do we have to rely on to tell us whether we are in the presente or the pretérito, Luciano?
Your IOP or your.
No, because it's still going to be nosotros. Pablo?
It's going to be down like how the sentence is.
Yeah.
Like I don't be talking. It's like if we did talk. Like it has to be like how it works.
Okay,
That's
let's
how it works.
expand upon that a little bit. Maximo?
For like that, for present tense, you'd say we talked today, or in the past tense, would be like we talked yesterday.
Okay, so what we're doing, guys, is we are looking for context clues to tell us whether we are in the presente. Words like hoy, today, ahora, now, versus context clues in the past. Words like ayer, anteayer, la semana pasada, last week, etc. Okay? And finally, they talk right now, hablan, and they talked yesterday, hablaron. Okay, bien? Preguntas. That's all I'm giving you today is AR past tense. I want everyone to stand up, por favor. Write your endings for the AR verb on the front of this packet, please. AR endings on the front of this packet right now. So right here, that little bitty blurb right there is all we've done today. That's all we're doing. Write your endings. A, aste, o, amos, aram, please.
Does this need to be?
Yep. Okay, here we go. You're going to repeat after me. Again, repetition, connection. You're going to clap with me. You're going to say A, aste, o, 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 amos, aram, preterito. A, aste, o, 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 amos, aram, preterito. Let's do it together. Ready? Uno, dos, tres. A, aste, o, o, amos, aram, preterito. A, aste, o, 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 amos, aram, preterito. Again. A, aste, o, 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 amos, aram, preterito. Once more. Siéntense. La tarea, your homework. Page 2, all 20. You are just finding the subject pronoun and conjugating the verb in parentheses. At most, this will take you 10 minutes. Page 3, activity A. That's it. Okay, so page 2, all of the exercises, all 20. Página 3, page 3, actividad A, activity A. Do not move forward, please, because you cannot move forward. I have not taught you any irregulars or stem changers, so do not attempt to go forward without me. We're going to take this little